motherfucking record. Get that shit wrong. But yeah, man. So you had a fun excursion,
to say the least.
How was it? How was it?
It was awesome, man. Me, my girlfriend, and Alex, we had on here. We all went to Toronto for the weekend, primarily to go see this. No Ring North put on a show at Taylor Junction in Toronto. Anyways, so we drove down there and made like a weekend of it. Yesterday was the main day where we did a lot of shit. It was a full day of adventuring, Graham. Like, goddamn. And we started the day like hung over as shit too, because we went to a bar the night before and drank a bit. And then fuck, what do we do? So yeah, we got brunch, and then we walked down to the waterfront. Just walked around and saw a whole bunch of cool shit, and then we went to the ROM. We actually, the three of us went to the ROM because we hadn't been there in a while, and when we found out there was like a great whale exhibit or something. But that's what it was. The great whale exhibit. It was all about like whales and all that shit. They had like a full great whale skeleton there and everything. It was so cool, man. It was worth $35 a piece. Like, it was so worth it. Like, air conditioned as fuck, because you know how hot it was yesterday. So like, it was brutal downtown. So we went in there. I think we were in there like a couple hours just walking around. We walked around, like they had some Asian, it was like ancient Asian like art and stuff like that. Like, it was incredible. Like, some pieces there, Graham, were 10,000 years old, like easily. And it's just like, how the fuck has it like stayed that way, like that, like there, not like disintegrated
in that regard? Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Is because, in my opinion, I feel like back then, the fact that they were using like similar materials, but just the fact, like, them taking it to a new level by their methods of preservation, that's the beauty of it. Like, I'm not sure obviously how, but for them to like wrap like cloths, like for example, though, like to keep those, like to keep certain mummies or whatever preserves, like to wrap like certain cloths, and they probably put the cloth in some type of like vinegar water, you know what I mean? Just as far as whatever remedies they use. But I'm just saying that's what's dope about those types of things as far as exhibit pieces. But even like just the fact of being able to see a whole bunch of different things within the city and walking around, going down by the water, like, it's not the exact same as like being like right in within trees as far as nature goes, but standing out there and looking out across that water is, me personally, because I live relatively close to there, it's always beautiful for me when I run by that shit, bro. Did you go walk by the CN Tower and all that, or nah?
No, we were down by the sugar factory where that is.
Okay.
That's where we were. We were in that area, and we just hung out there for a bit. I smoked a joint out in the waterfront, just chilling, looking at the scenery, and then we Ubered it back to the ROM, and then we fucked around the ROM for a couple hours. The great whale exhibit was really fucking cool, because they have, like I said, they have a full great whale skeleton like there, and obviously it's fucking massive. Like, we all know this. We all knew this going into it, but then standing there in front of it and just being like, holy fuck, this thing is monstrous, like huge. It doesn't even make sense. I'll send you a video I took of there's another portion of it they had with a great whale's mouth open, just to show like how like it ate and stuff like that. It was fucking mind-boggling. They also had a heart, like a great whale heart. It was massive.
Yeah, man, that's the beauty of it. But like, even outside of that, like the building itself, like the different like little art pieces and like how the building itself is shaped. Yeah, man, like, it's dope that you got to come here and experience it. Like, and it's not to sound weird, because I'm not someone who's been here for 30 years or nothing, but it's like, in the few years that I've been here, the beauty of getting to see these things, I'm glad, like, you, like, as weird or strange as it might sound, like, I'm glad you get to share those types of experiences. You know what I mean? Because
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. There's so much like,
it's so diverse.
So much old architecture in the city. It's so wild. Like the ROM, you can see when we walked up onto it, you can see the old part of it, and then the new portion they built onto it. And the old portion that there's been like since like the 1800s or whatever. Like, it's crazy.
It's one of those things where if you have it's just, obviously we have camera phones and stuff so we can capture the moments now, but it's like, it's just one of those things where if you didn't have a camera, if this was back in those times, you just have to kind of enjoy it and shit, like take it in what it is, be in the moment, so to speak.
But and then we booked it back to the house where the Airbnb where we were staying, and then we went out to the No Ring North show, and that was fucking
Yes.
insane. Like it was
Okay.
just crazy. Like I knew some of the guys putting it on, so I was there to show my sport and all that, and because I wanted to go see this stuff live and in person.
Of course.
Alex Namber had never, ever, ever been to a live pro wrestling event of any sort. And this is basically like two dudes fighting in a back of a bar, like back parking lot of a bar in a pen, basically, with weapons. That's what it was. It was fucking crazy. It was so much fun though. Like, if you can tell, my voice is shot from just screaming like all night long. It was so much fun. I don't know if you know, I don't know how like far your wrestling knowledge is, but do you, Rene Dupree, does that name ring a bell to you?
Dupree, he was like a Frenchman, right?
I met him last night.
That's what's up. I was gonna say, yo, that's what's up. Okay.
He fought Warhead in the main event, and before he went on, me and my girlfriend went into the bar to get some shots, to get some more drinks and all that. And he's sitting there talking to Warhead, and I said to him, like, I saw you when I was like in 2004 when he came up here in the WWE to the Bay Shore to put on a show here, and he made a comment like, I went from wrestling in Madison Square Garden to the back parking lot of a bar in Toronto. And he was just, he was funny as fuck. And he also did a shot of Sambuca with my girlfriend, and he lit this shot of Sambuca on fire inside his mouth. And then went out there and fought Warhead, and it was a crazy fight. Holy Christ.
Yo, think about that though, Trent. The fact that he lit a drink in his mouth though, that's like your breath, that's like your mouth is a fire pit, bro. That's bro, that's like your mouth is a goddamn, bro, chestnuts can be roasted on your mouth, pause. That's just what type of time he was on, bro. What type of shit is that? He just lit a match and just
he did it basically with like me and like two other people who saw it.
Like, that's crazy as hell, bro. Like I'd have been like, what? I'd have been like, your esophagus and throat and shit's gonna be burnt. Your tongue's gonna need a goddamn Colgate super cool jacket to revive it, all types of shit like that, bro. But no, at the same time, no, that's dope as fuck, Trent.
He didn't give a fuck. Like I said, he went out there and fought Warhead, and they beat the shit out of each other. Like he hit him at one point.
Blood and all types of like, because obviously, like in context, I know it's like it's a fighting match. Like it's not like quote unquote wrestling, right? Like it's like
it is. It's wrestling. It's wrestling, but it's basically like it's like hardcore wrestling. Just a lot of like weapons and shit. And like I was just about to say, I'll send you the video of it, but I got Warhead got hit with a fucking light tube. I got showered with the glass afterwards. Like I was like, my girl was standing right here. I was like, get behind me, and I did this, and I just I've got in my shorts. I've got fucking glass particles just still in. It looks like it would look like I hugged a stripper, just like all the fucking glitter and stuff, but it's all light tubes, and it was so crazy. It was crazy.
Trent, that's wild. That's wild as fuck. That's wild as fuck. I'm glad that you had that experience, bro. To think about it, like you have a first hand, because you were a part of the battle, damn near. Because for you to have to get shattered with all that type of shit and have a potential injury after the fact, granted, you know what I mean? Like if
I got a little cut in my foot from some glass. That's about it.
Okay, true. Okay, well at least it was minor as fuck. It's like, bro, you got to tell me if I'm this close, I got to be wearing goggles or some shit. You can't just hit me with glass.
It's basically get the fuck out of the way at that point, because they were out of the pen and in the crowd, so it's just like get out of the way. Warhead legit almost sandwiched Rene Dupree and my girlfriend into the wall because she was like, oh shit, and then she got out of the way.
Oh shit!
Like, get out! It's like I told him, it's like hockey. You got to keep your eye on the puck because there's going to be some flying shit happen. You know what I mean? I forget who it was, but somebody got hit with a wiffle bat that had thumbtacks on it, and the thumbtacks like split, like obviously flew off. It landed two landed right at my feet. I was like, oh
yeah,
put that in the pocket.
That's scary, bro. Because that's the shit where it's like, because it's a part of it. But then you, as the spectator, your ass can get caught slipping and catch a thumbtack in the forehead or whatever the case is. That's the scary shit about it.
You just got to be either not close to the action or fucking watching the action. Those are the only recommendations it can have. If you just want to like hang in the back and talk, well, cool, just hang in the back and talk. You don't have to worry about too much. But if you want to be out there and watch like the real shit go down. Like we were off to the side, but I was like from me to the wall away, maybe like 5, 6, maybe like 10 feet away from them. So like that when they were in the pen, as if, and then when they came out of it, you're in the crowd. They're fighting in the crowd. So like get out of the way or become fucking a casualty at that point.
Facts, big facts. And that's the thing too, because you're obviously like, while with people, you want to make sure they don't get injured as well, right? So it's like,
well, that's what I told them. I was like, it's a hockey game, but like if they're in the crowd, get the fuck out of the way. Like that's all I can say, dude.
Yeah,
you guys can handle yourselves. I both know you've fought people before, but like get out of the way.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's what it is. Because at that point, it's not even about your fighting skill. It's more about you not fucking around and tripping over a chair or some shit that behind you that you don't see. Like on some real shit, like because most people are standing. But let's just say there's a random, maybe not chair, but something where it's like, did Buddy lose his shoe and you step on the shoe and roll your ankle and fall down, and you that close to the action, you see the blood and sweat and shit flying off their faces and shit. Get back, motherfucker, get back. But
pretty much, there was some people standing next to us on the wall. The one guy was friends with Mark Shaw, who was one of the wrestlers there. He brought them down and didn't tell him a damn thing about this. He was just like, yeah, we're gonna go out to this bar. And they went out to the bar and walked out to the back, and there's a fucking pen set up, and they're like, what the fuck's about to happen right now? And he basically, oh yeah, this is a pro wrestling match. There's about to be some shit happen. That was all. That was all he gave him. Fucking shout out to Nick if you're listening. I doubt it, but still, him, his girl, and his friends were really fucking cool. They were just chilling there, and I was just like, yeah, like educating them on all this stuff. I was like, is that barbed wire? It's like, oh yeah. It's like, is that mouse traps? Yep.
Trent, you went into professor mode. You was just like, actually. The barbed wire around the back was introduced in 2001 by Stone Cold Steve Austin. and then you push your glasses, like your glasses are on your nose, you push them up towards your eyes more. Actually, the mousetrap was introduced by Mick Foley, also known as like just like Mr. Socko, also known as, and just start going in. I'm just saying, like that'd be funny as shit, bro. Like
it's hilarious. Yeah,
that's a bit right there. But yo,
I was also like half in the bag too, so it was just like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And my buddy, that Kyle, who we've had on here before, he got fucking split open pretty good with some a gusset plate in the forehead, and they're like, oh my god, he's really bleeding. I was like, yeah, it's all right, he's all right. You want to do this?
All right, he says. Trent's like, I'm not trying to leave this motherfucker. Yo, if I have a gash in my head, I think my night's probably done, bro. I'm gonna go back. I'll meet y'all back at the Airbnb. You talking, bro? Don't get me.
It was a fucking gusher, like it fucking bled pretty good too. It was just
saying. Like Buddy looks like he was part of the show and shit, and you out here talking about, nah, he good. No, he's not good. This guy is twisted.
I went and did a shot with him afterwards. He was fine.
he's like Trent. I feel woozy, man. Trent's like, how many fingers am I holding up? 9. I have one hand up. Like that's when that shit starts happening. This motherfucker talking about, I feel woozy, Trent.
I bet they all feel like dog shit today, but last night, no, they were running on adrenaline and alcohol and fuck knows what else. But like everyone was it was a fucking riot. It was so much fun, man. Like honestly, and it almost fucking like torrential. It was like thunder and lightning too, just in like the last few main event, like a few fights. So I'm really interested to see how the footage capture that, because it was really fucking cool. Like just all of a sudden a sheet of lightning would go across the sky and it'd be like, whoa. And then, it was so fucking cool. Just all around was a cool night. And then we went back to the Airbnb, drank our faces off, woke up this morning. And we're just like, okay, we got to get out of Toronto. Let's go back home.
For sure. That's what it is though, man. It's like, you just got to be out here and enjoy experiences, regardless where you are. And then the fact that you got to come out and like have like a specific event to go to, it's dope, man. It's dope. But just roaming around too, like as you know, like say you have a little bit of bread in your pocket. Okay, let's go see the Royal Ontario Museum or whatever. Let's go see this, that, and the third. Let's go see that. And it's like at that point, it's like you're just out here to enjoy your time, like
pretty much, man,
and not stress it too much. You know what I mean?
I want to quote something that Alex said that we like earlier. He was like, man, like everything we did, like going to the ROM and then going to this and all that and everywhere. He says like I hadn't felt that excited, like being like a kid again. That's basically how he like haven't felt that excited and like, oh, like all this shit is happening. We're doing all this stuff today, like sort of thing. Like, and it was all fun related. There wasn't any work or any fucking responsibilities really related other than like personal safety and getting the car
Yeah,
back to the Airbnb, basically.
yeah.
But you know what I mean?
No, of course. Yeah, like that
But
childlike, like a field trip almost. Like,
yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
exactly it.
yeah,
But like an adult field trip.
yeah, man. What the fuck, yeah.
Fucking ripping joints and fucking smoking our vape pens all through the town, whatever. Getting drunk as piss at these bars. Oh, so much fun, man. It
Bro,
was
it's
a lot of
legal
fun.
shit, bro. This is the time. This is the time to be doing it. Bro, I live hella close to a police station. I'll be walking down the street like I'm the president and shit. As far as like just blowing a nice doobie in the air and shit. Just turn it to Mike Epps and shit from All About the Benjamins. Talking about dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Just out here just tripping and shit like that.
Oh man.
They have it playing in the background while you hitting something exotic. But yeah, man, I mean, that's dope as fuck, man. And that's the thing. On another note, today I was actually going for a run, but I was just like walking to get a little warmed up first. Yeah, bro. And like as I'm walking across the street, a random woman gets like, I don't know if she got like pushed or somebody bumped into her. But Buddy, like, unfortunately, looked like he might have been on some of that shit. Taller, lankier, like white dude, like pushed down. Let's like what looked like I'm giving the cultures for a reason. What looked like some type of like, I don't know if she might have been Hispanic or whatever, but she didn't speak that much English in the sense of being like, oh, like, someone help, or whatever, right? So like we have like people are running over to her and stuff. So I'll walk over. I'm standing there. And I'm like, everyone's just like trying to figure out what happened because I saw Buddy walking across the street in front of her. So she's behind him. They're both walking the same direction. Next thing I know, she's on the ground and Buddy's sweater's off or whatever. And like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, either he pushed her on the ground or something, groceries is all over. So I'm like, yo, immediately 30 white women were on their phones to call the police and shit. And I was just like, yep, that's what it turns into. That's what it has to be because Buddy got to get, next thing I know, I come back from my run. Because like I'm like once 30 white women call the police, bro, you might as well just walk away from the situation. More or less, once the police get there, that bitch is gonna get handled. Like if it's a matter of being stalled by the police, right? I personally give it not that obviously it's a woman, so you don't ever want to see a woman get hurt, but I just mind my business. Granted, it ain't direct towards me. Granted, if I got help, I don't want to slug dude in his face. Next thing I know, she did some wild shit to him, kicked him in the nuts, and I hit the wrong person. And it's just, you can't just jump in situations acting violent. But
you can't jump in with just straight violence right away. You have to jump in and try and like separate, mediate.
Yeah, you got to see the situation.
De-escalate. But once separate, mediate, de-escalate. There we go.
Bro, once people started breaking up, like more or less breaking them up and helping the lady up, and Buddy's just kind of tripping out, walking in circles in the middle of the street, mind you, busy ass street, Queen Street. Yep. So it's like, what we doing? But this is the type of shit that I'll be seeing like every day, bro. And it's that's why when I making random jokes like, man, this is Gotham City and shit. Because yo, they be acting like that shit for real. But that's why I'm bringing up this little experience just because it's like the two totally different like sides of it. Like where it's like you can have like a childlike experience where you're enjoying life and smoking doobies and tripping and shit. But in another part, there's a motherfucker out here getting like pushed over or whatever. And don't get me wrong, it's just what you observe is wild based on your perspective of it. Like, because once the lady got helped up, she was good, bro. Like she tried to walk in, but I think she might have been unfortunately something because she tried to walk in, cars are going and shit, Trent, back and forth, and she tried to walk back into the street with her groceries and shit. I don't know if she was shook up from the situation or whatever, but I was like, everyone's kind of like, whoa, and then Buddy had to go and kind of like hold her back, like, whoa, man, wait till the light turns green, then cross. Like, it was just a weirder situation, bro. It was one of them weird ass situations. Because she wasn't even, after she got helped up, she wasn't even like that she was mad at the dude who quote unquote, or might have pushed her down. She might have just fell. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because my back was turned, because I saw them crossing the same way and I'm walking past them. I hear a little commotion kind of thing. I turn around and Buddy's not necessarily near her, but his shirt's off and his shirt was on when last time I saw him. So I'm like, what? His sweater's off, I mean, and she's on the ground. So I'm like, either she tripped or, but anyway, I'm just saying shit's wild, shit's weird. But it's difference of perspectives that could be happening. That's why it's great. If you ever can have a pure moment, Trent, please enjoy that, bro. To anyone listening, please enjoy that. Don't let no one rob you of it. because some nonsense moments, unfortunately, could be around the corner. We're not thinking about them. We're not trying to have them happen, but it just sucks how quick, because it's like, yeah, man, while you're enjoying the shit out yourself, waking up, yeah, baby, it's a new day. Someone else could be getting robbed and shit. And it's like, I know they don't necessarily have anything to do with each other, but it's just, that's why I'm glad you enjoyed those moments. And we can have those moments still as we're growing older. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. On the flip side, we saw a lot of like, we were driving through, we saw a lot of tent cities and stuff like that. A lot of like homeless people. And it was just like, man, it's really rough here. We thought it was bad. Like we've got a bad problem with that here as well too, just because fucking housing's so ridiculous. But like, yeah, it was pretty like, wow. And then, pardon me, we were in a Uber at one point. I think we were driving back to the Airbnb. And the Uber driver says, "Oh, did you hear about the shooting on Parkdale?" And we're like, "What?" He was like, "Oh yeah, some guy went into the fucking mall or whatever and started shooting people." We're like, "What the fuck? We didn't hear about that." Like, we were downtown, like blah blah blah, blah whatever. It was just like,
yeah,
Jesus
Parkdale's
Christ.
an area. Yeah, it's an area though. Still, it's like I'm not too far from there still, but that's the thing, Trent. It's scary because like you might not know, bro, that's the thing that's fucked up about it. I'll be on my balcony and shit and you hear random gunshots. And it's not to be like, yo, it's some gangster shit. It's more about being like, I don't need a stray bullet coming through my balcony window or some shit, hitting a motherfucker on some why. Because you think about it, I'm just saying how, not about being morbid or anything, but shit is random. And there's a police, it's like you hear the gunshots and then you hear the police sirens 30 seconds after. And it's like as if they're on to where they more or less heard that from. So the fact that you said that a driver was telling you about a shooting that happened recently is kind of wild, bro. Like
that day
too. Like it wasn't like it happened a couple weeks ago. No, like that day. That's some shit, bro. It's just peaches and cream when you go to fucking certain places, and then when you go to other places, it's like, yo, where we at?
Pretty much.
Where the fuck is Batman? Where the fuck is Batman? Every time I gotta bring him up, yo. Where the fuck is Bruce Wayne, bro? How many millionaires and shit we got in this city? Where the fuck is Bruce Wayne? I say Trent, I'm telling you right now, if I fucking get that some type of just an excessive amount of money, bro, you have to understand. I'm gonna try to go Tony Stark on these bitches, bro. Elon Musk is trying to build spaceships for 30 people and shit like that. I'm trying to build just a suit for just me, in the sense of, so if I ever get the prototype right, I can start developing more and more suits for more and more people. But I'm just saying from a standpoint of, bro, we can Tony Stark this shit right now in certain areas. I'm sure obviously people are doing it, but shit is real, bro. Fuck it. I'm making a joke as far as saying I'm gonna turn into a superhero, but I'm just saying, fuck, bro. Shit is real out here in this fucking city.
It is, man. It's crazy. Like
here
and like here's one thing. Like I know what to expect here. I'm gonna see meth heads downtown. I'm gonna see like sketchy people and all that, but it's whatever. It's just part of like how this town's always been for me. So it's just like you deal with it. You mind your own business. You don't go out and attract that energy, and the energy won't find you. It's basically how I've always come to think about it, and how I've pretty much rolled with it. The only time that doesn't really happen is when I go out to the pub or something like that, because then it's just drunk people and drunk energy, and nothing good happens after 12 or after midnight. Nothing good happens after midnight. Like after midnight, nothing. Like there's always going to be some sketchy bullshit go down 1, 2 a.m., 3, 4 a.m. Yeah, shit's going to go down at those hours. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's all about knowing, basically just like having an intuition about things. Like if you've been in situations enough and you've been around like enough sketchy shit, like all that, you kind of develop a sense about it. You can kind of feel the I don't know how to describe it, like more so the vibe, like of how things are going to go. Like you have a feeling things are going to go down, and most times you can act on that gut intuition and get the fuck out of there. Sometimes if you're just a curious bystander and you just want to watch the shit go down because you don't give a fuck, I've done that a lot too. The other bar in town here, the Harb, I got that the last time I was in there like a couple weeks ago. I was in there with my girl and her friend, and I'm just like on edge the whole time, just waiting for the shit to kick off, basically. So I was just like, I gotta get out of here. I can't fucking stay here. I'm too tense and too like waiting for it, just waiting for it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm going home. Fuck this.
Yeah, especially it's Like how, for example, how you guys came out and visited Toronto and like where you're originally from, how it's like less population. So you even though you're describing a moment of like kind of like anxiety and kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, which I'm not gonna lie, bro, I feel that a lot, especially just walking down the street because there's so many people, bro, to the point where
Yep.
you're like, yo, I'm not having it. Like, I don't want to be out here anymore. But you're, let's say, half an hour to an hour from your place. And then you're thinking to yourself, I got to jump on a crowded motherfucking streetcar before COVID. I got to jump on a crowded subway, bro. And it ain't even about, because it's all privileged shit as far as like, but you have the right to, if you feeling anxious and stuff, like you have the right to feel that way. And I'm the one around a lot of people, which is so strange because I want to fucking not be someone, but I'm someone who has performed in front of a lot of like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not no thousands, but like 200, 300, 500 people before in life. And like, so it's weird that that's the case. You have that anxiety. But yeah, but no, like but to your point, that's why it's like when you said you were in that shop and you felt that way, despite like you just got to get up out of here. That's the type of shit that's buzz deal. Cause like I be feeling it. That's the type of shit that turn people into those like recluses or whatever, bro. Like those hermits or whatever. Like where it's just like, I don't want to be out in public. I gotta get facts. I know, yeah, you got the tattoo, I had the facts, but that's what it is, bro. Cause you think to yourself, okay, I might enjoy myself more having things delivered to my house and not being fucking, you know what I mean? Like bothered to go outside. But then you gotta get outside and get fresh air and shit.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean because for me, it's not so much like my anxiety and all that really comes out when it's like crowded people in stores, not so much like on streets and shit like that. I can deal with that because I just keep moving, walking down the street. But in stores where it's just like there's people like right in your shit, even before COVID and all that shit, but people like right in your shit, and there's like you can't maneuver around things, and you're trying to think about things. Man, I just at that point I just get really like I don't get flighty, I get fighty. Like I just get really like I'm gonna fucking knock somebody out if they don't get out of my goddamn way. Like I get that feeling, and it's just like I got to get out of the store, or I'm gonna start just massacring people. Like I need to get out of here
Yo, and
because
that's
it's just
the thing.
that's it. Like you have the flight or you have the fight, and it's the fight for me in that situation is like I just so irritated and so anxious and so like overwhelmed. I need to get out of here, or I'm gonna kill somebody, basically.
See, and that's the thing. And obviously, I know you control that more or less in the situations that you're in, but it's like it's wild though that that's what we have to come to, and most people are like that. It's you don't want to be trapped or encapsulated somewhere where you don't want to be. It's just that simple. Like you get you put yourself in a situation where you're like, yo, let's go into the store and grab some food. Next thing you know, 3 people enter, 7 people enter, 5, and you're like, wait a minute, this store's I get it, bro, and that's why it's but it just sucks here in this specific city. Granted, you live in an area I live downtown. Don't get me wrong. So one could say, yo, but Graham, you chose to live downtown, and I would say you're right. But I chose to do that because it's closer to where I be working, where I be doing business, things of that nature. So I made a decision in that regard. But you can't always factor in the amount of people or the busyness that you're going to experience on a daily basis, depending on how far you have to walk to wherever, or drive or bike ride or whatever. Shit will throw you off though, man, because you're not people just do the most randomest shit. Like say they're walking 5 or 6 feet in front of you, then next thing you know, they just stop and turn around and start swinging. And then you say to yourself, what? And it's you and 3 random women who you have no idea. And you're like, wait a minute, lady, get behind me, or whatever the case is. You have to try to bust a move. Just similar to the situation I broke down a little earlier. I was like maybe 15 or so feet. I turn around and that's when I hear the commotion. I turn around and a woman's on the ground with some groceries kind of scattered, and Buddy's a little bit away from her, but they were kind of close before. So it's just you put 2 and 2 together. But you're like, did he throw her down? Did he hit her? Did she trip? And you just kind of. But this is the most random. People just do that shit when they're walking, Trent. That's why it's like, it's weird because even though we're just not trying to just factor on just walking. Or being in a busy city of people who walk, but it's like, I guess you have to be mindful everywhere, Trent. Whether
really
you're
do.
whether you're at a wrestling event, like how you were saying, be mindful you don't get hit in the face with a goddamn 2x4 tack or whatever. Bro, that shit is scary that you said it landed by your foot. Next thing you know, if your girl was wearing like Vans or something and it just goes inside her foot or something, like that's that bullshit.
I was wearing Vans.
It's even worse. Your own foot, bro. That's the type of but you gotta we have to understand that you have to be extremely aware. It's funny because that's the type of shit I be telling my nephews and shit, bro. As far as just like, yo, be here in the moment, be aware, opposed to being like daydreaming all the time or like aloof. And it sucks because they're at that age where that kind of like they don't want to do that virtual learning shit. Now they're kind of going back and forth to school, physical school. But I say all that to say people who's listening.
Fuck, I wouldn't want to do virtual learning either, man. It sounds like hell.
Facts. Like no one wants to necessarily sit in front of like shit. We went to university in that regard, bro. Like so we know in the context of sitting in a lecture hall. Say there's the 300 back in first years and shit where it's like 300 people or whatever, 120 people. All right, cool, whatever. You get to smaller classes, all right, at least more focused. I can ask the professor what's good. But then it gets to the point where you just damn near feel like you're only on your computer. Your eyes are burning. Certain motherfuckers, not me, I'm not hating. I only stuck to the herbs, but certain motherfuckers is popping Adderalls and tripping and shit like that. You got to do what you got to do out here, bro. You got to do what you got to do. But I say that to say it's like, it's so wild how we take in things and like try to like, we have to stay focused. But in my opinion, I'm saying like we have to stay focused though, because though it's nice to see the pretty car or the pretty girl or the whatever. Okay, remember how a couple episodes ago I was telling you about that pigeon getting killed? Like there was a group of pigeons in the road eating food. One gets ran over. They all look at each other like, was that James? Was that James that just got hit? That was James? Yeah, that was James. All right, pass me his plate. And then they go over and basically eat the food that the pigeon named James was eating. That's some bullshit to me, but that's the type of, that's how it is kind of out here. I'm
Nature
making
is cold. Nature is metal. It doesn't care.
They didn't eat his body, obviously, but like, yo, they all took it in.
Kicked him aside and kept eating the food.
Just started eating the French fries and breadcrumbs and shit. And I thought to myself, like, whoever put those breadcrumbs there is a diabolical motherfucker, bro. Like he was like, I'm gonna catch somebody. He was probably behind the bushes with a camera that can be like 50x of a zoom and just behind the bushes, just zooming in on the situation, waiting to see what pigeons are gonna get killed. And just a diabolical motherfucker. Like who does
that guy?
Bro, he put it on a streetcar. He put whoever. I'm saying it could have been a woman, but threw mad different French fries and stuff on the streetcar, and it's like the streetcar rails could get slid on by the street. Like, what are we doing? Like, obviously, I know they actually operate during the rain and snow and shit, but I'm just saying as an example, you don't want no bullshit like that to happen. It's just funny, bro. That through it all, Trent, you see a scenario like that, and then you're like, nature's cold, yo. Everybody got to be aware is simply what I'm saying. If that pigeon was aware, he would have flew out the way with all his homies. He did not. He was so focused on the motherfucking French fries. He gets ran over by 6 or 7 streetcar wheels. I said, oh no.
Got lost in the sauce and it cost him his life.
That's the thing, bro. My boy was dripping in the sauce and shit, bro. He was just enjoying the shit out that shit, right? He's like, yeah, it tastes delicious, baby. Bam. Next thing you know, he's sitting there and it's like all clouds and beautiful stars and stuff around him. He's just like, wait a minute. Where's the meal I was just eating? He's in heaven. He's in what are they? That pigeon was gone. Hey, bro, I'm just saying, shit's wild. Be aware out here, people. Along with Toronto experiences. The theme of this episode's got to be on some be aware shit, people. Just be perceptive, be focused on what you're actually doing out here. Be aware of your surroundings, please.
And like you said, be in the moment, be in the now, because this is all we have. And as I've said probably a fucking million times on this podcast, but like the past and the future are wrapped up in the now. We are trapped in the present, so we have to use what we have right now and in this moment to make it through.
No, and that's beautiful, bro. That's that poetic shit, because shit, I was just scrolling on Instagram the other day or whatever, and I saw one of those like quotes by forgive me, it was an Asian gentleman, and it's not about being racist or anything like that. I genuinely forgot his name, but it was more or less on some if you're gonna be living in the past, you're gonna be anxious. If you're gonna be living in the future, you're gonna be sad or whatever. And then it's all the and then like if you're living in the present, like you're gonna be at peace because like that's the gift. Similar to what you're saying, but it's just like a, you know how they have like kind of like those Asian proverbs or whatever you want to call them, like it's one of those things where it's not about trying to be ignorant or whatever. It's just a quote that I breezed through, but it actually kind of relates to what you just expressed. Be in the now, people. Be aware. Enjoy yourself, please, because that's the main thing. Can't be out here on some high ass shit, being burnt out and shit. Yeah,
I agree, man. Like, yeah, try not to drink too many fucking shots of whiskey, and then you won't feel like shit the next day. That's all I gotta say.
yeah, bro. And on another note, hey, never be. It ain't about being a man. It ain't about being a woman. None of that. To anybody. If you enjoy drinking Sambuca, or if you enjoy, like, as you might have heard my boy say something about that earlier, that's not necessarily my flavor. But if you enjoy drinking anything, whether it's a fruity quote unquote woman drink and you're a dude or whatever the case is, drink what you enjoy. I saw people laughing or whatever at somebody who had some like a fruity drink or it was like like Palmdales or Palm Bays or whatever, bro. And whatever the Palmdales, I'm tripping. I was thinking about I'm thinking about Palmdales in the sense of like what we were talking about earlier. But anyway, but it's really Parkdale. Palmdale's in LA anyway, or in California anyway. Yo, man, I'm just saying, if you're gonna trip out and be all see now I'm out here burnt out on some high shit, bro. Forget my train of thought and shit, because we were talking about all the different like and you probably might not remember where I was going. Like,
oh, I had no idea where you're going with that.
That's the thing, because I know you're kind of like doing your thing or whatever in the background. I'm like, no, he's probably not listening.
I remember. We were talking about drinking like whatever you want to drink, regardless.
Yes, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. See, you were. I'm glad you were super focused too. My bad. Yes, that's where we're going. I'm just simply saying, enjoy yourself. If you want to drink whatever you want to drink, because they were roasting my man with the Bombays or whatever in his thing, and then he said something like, and because then I think they had like some regular craft beer, like a Bud Light or whatever, in their little basket, just as an example. And he was like, "Yo, this shit's stronger than what you're drinking." And after that, I thought to myself like, "Wow, this guy actually has a point." I looked at the percentages or whatever, and I'm like, "Wow." It was like they had like, and I thought to myself like, so you think because you drink something that tastes bitter or whatever the case is to some, that automatically makes you more of a dude or whatever? But it's like Buddy's the one who's drinking the stronger shit. It's just that it's sweeter. So it's like, what? So he proved motherfuckers wrong in that little situation.
That's why I drink Cottage Springs. They taste good, not so sweet, not so sugary, but they're flavorful and all that, and they're 5%, so you get fucked off of them. Like, you drink enough of them. Whoo.
Yeah, man. And again, it's just more that you get to enjoy yourself. That's the main thing, in my opinion.
Man.
You know. Yeah, man. Even regardless, it's the beauty of life, the ebbs and flows. You got to kind of just roll with the punches and take it all in as it comes. That's the whole point of capturing the present, right?
Amen.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, though, we can roll up, roll Autobots, roll out, all that Decepticons and shit, transforming, all that type of shit, bro. You know what I mean?
Amen.
To the beautiful people listening, like, this is another episode. My name is Graham.
I'm Trent.
And thanks for vibing with us, bro. I be out here high as shit, burnt out, but it's all good, people.